Boom shakalaka, a shocking divergence between Bitcoin price and on-chain data. Even the inventor of Bollinger Bands going all in on Bitcoin, plus some very important news for everybody in cryptocurrency and the top altcoins to look at today. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're talking about a lot about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We have a shocking divergence between the chart and on-chain data. We have some very important news, including Mark Cuban suggesting suing the SEC and the top altcoins today. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, come join us over on Twitter at the Crypto Love, where every week we give away one of these sweet shirts. Now, let's get into things. This is the Bitcoin chart today. As you can see, I still have the rainbow Bitcoin spider lines on there. You can see Bitcoin got rejected from this green line. Price came down, and I kind of put these arbitrary dotted lines right here, which were points of support previously, and it looks like at the current time, Bitcoin could potentially be sitting in this little bullish megaphone right here, potentially continuing to go up and up and up. Now, there is some very, very divergent news between basically the on-chain data and the price. We saw the price tank. Bitcoin dropped 20% in a day. But even the creator of these lines right here, the Bollinger Bands, even the creator of them, very bullish on Bitcoin right now. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But the first thing we need to talk about is this very important news here. SEC versus Coinbase. Alex Mashinsky says Celsius will have to wait and see on the fallout. So in case you guys haven't heard about it, support for Coinbase and its CEO Brian Armstrong has been pouring in from the crypto community since the company disclosed in a regulatory filing on Wednesday that it had received a Wells notice from the US SEC. The regulator has threatened to sue the exchange over its proposed lend program, which would offer 4% interest on customer holdings of the USDC stablecoin. So, right now, Alex Mashinsky says, I think we're going to need to go through these murky waters right now, and we'll need to get clarity, and it's going to take a little bit of time before we get the rules and we can start running faster. The SEC claims yield on USDC may be a security if paid to non-accredited investors. Coinbase did not ask permission for all assets, only for USDC. Now, it seems very strange that they can't just do that, but that's the SEC. Apparently, if you have under $1 million or something like that, you don't know how to take care of your money. So, everyone has to wait and see what the SEC will issue as a regulation. Looks like Coinbase wants to take the SEC to court like XRP and prove they went beyond their charter. So Brian Armstrong on September 8th tweeting some really sketchy behavior coming out of the SEC recently. Story time. Mark Cuban says, Brian, this is regulation versus litigation. They aren't capable of working through this themselves and are afraid of making mistakes in doing so. They leave it to the lawyers, just the people you don't want impacting the new technologies. You have to go on the offensive. So he's saying you have to actually take them to court to sue them so they can figure this stuff out, because they're not going to do it themselves. They have no idea what they're talking about. So this is very, very interesting. Could impact Coinbase, but also Celsius and some other lending platforms out there. Now, not only that, but Cardano confirms launch date for smart contracts mainnet. Upgrade launch confirmed today around 1726 UTC. We successfully submitted an update proposal to the Cardano mainnet to trigger a hard fork combinator event on Sunday. So, big thing, September 12th, potentially might cause the price to drop. The price has ran up 50%, might cause the price to drop, might not. We'll kind of have to see how it plays out. Also, after El Salvador, Ukrainian parliament passes law legalizing cryptocurrency. They've passed bill number 3637 on virtual assets, regulates legal relations arising in connection with the turnover of virtual assets in Ukraine. Now, this basically allows them to regulate the bill and to start accepting cryptocurrency as legal tender. Now, there's that news. And then this news here. So that's kind of what's going on all across the market. SEC versus Coinbase, Cardano mainnet launch, Ukraine making cryptocurrency legal tender. But what we have going on with Bitcoin right here, the third largest Bitcoin wallet just bought $23 million worth of Bitcoin. One of the largest Bitcoin whales seems to have taken advantage of the latest crypto market turmoil by buying the dip. bought 490 Bitcoin when it was exchanging hands at around $46,800 with a face value of $23 million, bought them from U.S. exchange Coinbase. So whales are buying. If you want to be rich, you should do what rich people do and buy Bitcoin. But not only that, because we have the price dropping, why would people buy? I mean, gosh, prices dropping, Coinbase, SEC, it looks bad. But it turns out, we talked about it in yesterday's episode, most of the price crash was due to over-leveraged noobs on Bybit. Unfortunately, that's how it happens. So what happens here, based on this chart, over-leveraged traders wrecked Bitcoin whales, nom nom nom, on-chain tracks broader trends which are only strengthening. You can see right here, huge divergence. The amount of Bitcoin being bought increases dramatically. The price decreasing. That is a divergence. When that stuff happens, the price ends up catching up and shooting up. Not only that, but some people are saying, well, this on-chain data doesn't correlate. I mean, why didn't you predict that was going to happen? Well, derivative markets and on-chain investor movements are two different systems. One controls the short-term price, the other controls the long-term price. Comments like these are ridiculously naive. So this guy here saying, I'm excited to see the on-chain analysis that predicted today's market crash in 2 to 3 weeks. It's not going to happen. It's basically very, very risky traders, over-leveraged, and they all get liquidated. It's like dominoes falling, one after the other after the other. And as we saw here in the price, okay, we're going to take a look at this in a second. Even the creator of the Bollinger Bands, John Bollinger, he says, now bullish on Bitcoin USD, good risk reward setup. First target, the upper B band, progressive stop under today's low. Someone went on to say, the Crypto Don said, thanks, John, just remortgaged the house and used kids' college fund to go all in. Thanks for the financial advice. And John Bollinger, in a great way, says, did you sell the wife too? Very important question, because, you need to go all in. So, as we can see here on this chart, Bitcoin is right now sitting on the lower Bollinger Band. As we take a look back in history, previous times when it was on the lower Bollinger Band, back here in June and also July before price shot up, and also basically every time it touches the lower band, it just shoots back up. So very, very good time to be bullish on Bitcoin. Now, that's about Bitcoin. How about altcoins? Well, if we take a look at Cointelegraph Markets Pro, which takes a look at some of the best coins to consider taking a look at based on current sentiment, Twitter activity, trading volume, and price movement on the entire history of that asset, we're going to take a look at the top coins on the Vortex scoreboard. But something else that they have that is very worthwhile are these newsquakes. Why? Because if we take a look at the newsquakes, when there are listings announcements, generally you get the information about 10 or 15 minutes before the rest of the market. And look at these prices that you can get peak return from the listings: 161%, 121%, 111%, 109%, 87%. And you can set up Discord to give you notifications when those happen. And based on the exchanges, you can kind of expect on average different things, like Coinbase listings, on average 91%. Also some high ones, FTX, OK Exchange. Not so good with Binance, Gemini, Kraken. So let's take a look at some of the top coins on the Vortex scoreboard today. We're going to take a look at Coty, we're going to take a look at Zilliqa, and what else? We're going to take a look at Teller and also the Sandbox. These four right here. So first one, Coty right now 30 cents, Vortex score 87. And as we can see here, the Vortex score over the past month, we can also see returns in the past day and everything like that. Any recent news quakes that they've had right there. So if we take a look at the chart, zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see Coty's been following this trend line up. From the top, bounced down, got up to the 23.6, and then right now sitting around the 61.8 underneath the 21-day moving average. And I don't see anything really that interesting. Potentially a big head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders forming right here if it does complete this upward move right here. But as of right now, it's sitting underneath the 21-day moving average. I'd like to see a little bit closer to above it. Now the next one would be Zilliqa, 10 cents, Vortex score 82. You can see here the price versus the Vortex score, any new news quakes, anything there. And then if we take a look at the chart, This one has bounced off of this 78.6 line. It's sitting right underneath the 21-day moving average, and again, following this nice progression upwards. These are log scales. The next one would be Teller, $55, Vortex score 79, and we can take a look at the price versus the Vortex score there. As we can see here, bounced off of the 78.6. This one is getting squeezed very, very close to the 21-day moving average. But I saved the best one for last. The Sandbox, Sand, 83 cents, Vortex score 79. We can see right here, the last time that it flagged green, price went from roughly about 76 cents all the way up to 98 cents. Well, it just flagged dark green again. But not only that, if we take a look at the overall price, this one is actually right above the 21-day moving average. And I would think that out of all four of those top ones today, the Sandbox would be the best one to take a look at. But this right here, the Vortex scoreboard, this gives you the higher score, suggests that the current market conditions have been historically more bullish for a coin within 24 hours. Gives you the best chance for highest gainers, gives you good coins to take a look at. Those are the top four for today. If you haven't checked it out, there is a link down to Cointelegraph Market Pro in the description, any pinned comment. Thank you guys for watching. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll catch you later. Peace.